Turning our attention now to the Middle East. The ongoing chief of staff of the Israeli Defense Forces has now acknowledged that Israel has been supplying militants in Syria with weapons. It's something that's been long denied. Now, the revelation comes on the same day Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lashed out at Iranian leaders, telling them to get out fast. RT's Paula Sleer has the latest.
Well, this is the first time ever that an Israeli military official has acknowledged that Israel has been providing aid to rebels fighting against the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Now, what we're hearing from Gadi Eisenkot, who essentially is spilling the beans of what has been until now a badly kept secret, he says that Israel has been supplying rebels with light weapons for so-called self-defense. At the same time, he also says that Israel has been fighting Iranian forces inside Syria, and he revealed some details of those operations.
In January 2017, we began attacking the infrastructure the Iranians were building in Syria. The critical mass was from mid-2017. We began attacking systematically a number of times each week without making any statements beneath the radar.
This comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continues to threaten the remaining Iranian forces inside Syria. He says that they must get out fast and that Israel won't stop attacking them. Earlier, he denied that Israel was arming rebel forces.
We do not interfere in this terribly bloody conflict. We do, however, provide humanitarian aid to young boys and girls. It is expensive, but we will continue to invest.
Now, these reports are nothing new in the sense that there have been rumors for quite some time. Back in September last year, the IDF forced the Jerusalem Post newspaper to take down an article in which it said that Israel was providing weapons, ammunition and cash to Syrian rebel groups. At the same time, towards the end of last year, there were reports that a former Israeli defense minister was meeting with Syrian rebels. Earlier, the Wall Street Journal published an article in which it said Israel was providing cash to rebel fighters across its northern border. So this announcement certainly confirms that the rumors that have been circulating are in fact true.
All right, to discuss everything Middle East, I'm being joined now by former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. So, Mike, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli PM, issued this threat to Iran overnight. He told Iran to get out of Syria because Israel would not stop their assault on them. So first, how can Israel continue to have or have any presence in Syria in the first place without officially declaring war? And second, how are they doing this with impunity?
Well, this has been a long-standing problem that the Israelis have been launching attacks outside of Syria onto Iranian Hezbollah positions inside of Syria. It's getting old, it's getting, and it's beginning to wear on people, and the Syrians certainly have begun to react now by shooting down a lot of the incoming missiles from the Israelis. The Israelis have been a little careful about where to shoot them from. The Russians have basically warned the Israelis, if you're going to start coming back over Lebanon and shooting missiles into Syria, we're going to shoot them down. Now, the problem for Israelis for hitting these Iranian positions, that invariably there are probably Russian presence and Russian forces intermingled. I might add parenthetically that the Iranians that are there are not soldiers and troops as such. They are advisors of the IRGC Al-Quds forces. So they are advisors, and but the positions and a lot of the logistics that are said to be going into to support them are what the Israelis are targeting. But I think the Russians particularly are getting a little fed up with it, and we're beginning to see this now in a lot of the discourse that I'm seeing and hearing from Russian diplomats.
Now, I want to get back to the Russia topic in just a second here, but there is talk right now, buzz, that Israel's ramping up this rhetoric in Syria, that it's prompted by Trump's troop withdrawal. Is there any chance that Israel is doing this to try to keep the U.S. ensnared in Syria? Yeah,
there was always that hope. I mean, the Israelis were shocked when Trump got up one morning and made his announcement that he was pulling out. And the reason for that is that the Israelis really have been relying on the Kurds to maintain that area and to stay in that area in order to block what they perceive to be the corridor for the Iranians to come on through. Well, as we've talked about before, the Iranians are already in the Mediterranean area, in Lebanon, in Syria. They're there. They just don't want many more, I guess. But the reality is, and you'll notice that it was John Bolton, the National Security Advisor, who who had visited Netanyahu and then made an announcement from Israel that one of the conditions for U.S. pullout of Syria was to protect the Kurds, for the Turks not to attack the Kurds.
Right.
Well, that just blew up in everybody's face. Now what's happening is that the Turks have agreed in a post-conversation with Trump to agree to a 20-mile corridor, corridor in that area, which will then give the Kurds a chance to recede back into their area or to intermingle back into the Syrian army.
So Bolton's visit was somewhat of a tipping point for this. And now going back to the Russia link, Israel has elections coming up April 9th. They've begun saying that Russia is meddling in their elections, similar to accusations that Russia faces here in the U.S. Russia's been a key player in brokering stability in Syria, especially against ISIS. Do you think these Russian meddling claims have a base in Russia's role in what they're doing in Syria?
Absolutely. I think it's really beginning to show a fraying of relations between Netanyahu and Russian President Putin. And for him now to make such a claim, similar to what the Democrats did, and of course all the advisors tend to be Democrats from the old neocon period, they are going to be, that it seems to be a mantra that catches on. The French did it, the Americans did it, but it really displays a wedge that is increasingly widening that relationship between Israel and Russia.
Yeah, certainly the hot button, easy scapegoat right now is Russia, apparently. So as always, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. Michael Maloof.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.